with some breaking news as retired NFL running back Rudi Johnson, who was a graduate of Thomasdale High School in Chesterfield County, has died at the age of 45. That's according to Thomasdale's football page. Johnson had just been inducted into the Chesterfield Sports Hall of Fame, although he did not attend the ceremony in person. According to his Hall of Fame inductee biography, Johnson's football career started when he was just 6 years old, playing for the Ettrick Trojans of the Chesterfield Quarterback League. He entered the NFL in 2001 as a fourth-round pick with the Cincinnati Bengals and retired as a Detroit Lion in 2008. The death cause for Rudi Johnson has not been released at this time.
When fans think of Cincinnati football in the 2000s, one name instantly rises above the noise. That name is Rudi Johnson. For years, Rudi Johnson was more than just a running back. He was the heartbeat of the Bengals offense, the player who brought toughness, fire, and consistency every single Sunday. And before he became a star in Cincinnati, Rudi Johnson was just a kid with a dream, running the football on Chesterfield County fields at only 6 years old. From the Ettrick Trojans of the Chesterfield Quarterback League, Rudi Johnson built his reputation as a relentless competitor. Every carry mattered. Every yard mattered. Coaches said you could see even then that Rudi Johnson had the kind of grit that separates legends from ordinary players. By the time Rudi Johnson reached Thomasdale High School, he wasn't just another athlete. He was the pride of Chesterfield. The story of Rudi Johnson didn't stop at high school glory. He fought his way through Auburn University, where again, the same theme repeated: doubt him if you want, but Rudi Johnson will prove you wrong. His bruising running style, his vision, his refusal to quit, these qualities made him a fourth-round pick in the 2001 NFL Draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. And that's where the legend of Rudi Johnson truly began. From 2004 to 2006. Rudi Johnson was nothing short of unstoppable. Over 4,000 rushing yards in 3 seasons, 36 touchdowns, still holding the single-season rushing record for the Bengals with 1,458 yards in 2005. In those years, the Bengals weren't just playing football, they were contenders. And Rudi Johnson was at the center of it all. Think about it. Carson Palmer under center, Chad Johnson electrifying the crowd, Willie Anderson protecting the pocket. But the chant, the one that shook Paul Brown's stadium, belonged to Rudi Johnson. Ruuuu-diii. Fans screamed it every time he carried the ball. Every broken tackle, every goal line push. Every Sunday afternoon became a memory because Rudi Johnson made it unforgettable. Even after leaving the Bengals and finishing his career with the Detroit Lions, the name Rudi Johnson stayed alive in Cincinnati. Jerseys with No. 32 filled the stands long after he was gone. Fans didn't just watch Rudi Johnson, they lived through him. And that's why his story remains so important. And then came the news no one was ready to hear. Rudi Johnson is gone. At just 45 years old, the man who carried the Bengals through some of their most exciting years has passed away. The announcement hit like a thunderbolt. Fans, teammates, even casual football followers, all stunned. How could it be that Rudi Johnson, who just entered the Chesterfield Sports Hall of Fame, would not even live long enough to enjoy the honor in person? According to reports, Rudi Johnson was officially inducted, but he never attended the ceremony. Now, that absence feels heavier, like fate was quietly preparing fans for a heartbreak they never expected. The same Rudi Johnson who started at 6 years old. The same Rudi Johnson who rushed his way into history. The same Rudi Johnson who carried an entire city on his back, now reduced to memories, highlights, and chants that echo in empty stadiums. But death cannot erase legacy. Rudi Johnson is still alive in the voices of fans who remember the chants. The sound of Ruuuu-diii will never die. In Cincinnati, Rudi Johnson will always be a part of the fabric, the culture, the pride of a city that lived and breathed Bengals football. His single-season rushing record still stands. A reminder that Rudi Johnson wasn't just good, he was historic. Think back to 2005. Carson Palmer throwing touchdowns, Chad Johnson dancing in the end zone, and Rudi Johnson pounding the ball between the tackles, finishing runs with authority. That season ended with heartbreak in the playoffs, but for fans, it was the season they believed again. And at the center of that belief was Rudi Johnson. Now, with his passing, the story of Rudi Johnson becomes more than football. It becomes a story of perseverance, of turning doubt into dominance, of making an entire fanbase chant your name until their voices were hoarse. It becomes a story of how a fourth-round pick with no guarantees became the man every defender feared on Sundays. At just 45, Rudi Johnson's life has ended, but his impact has not. His jersey will still be worn. His highlights will still be replayed. His chants will still echo. Rest in peace, Rudi Johnson. You were not just a player, you were a legend, a symbol of Cincinnati pride, and a name that will never be forgotten.
Please subscribe to Star Gossip and never miss the hottest celebrity updates. Hit that subscribe button on Star Gossip for daily drama, scandals, and celebrity news.